What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Time for another house ranking. This is the 24 Armani fragrances that I own, ranked from my least favorite, worst, to my favorite, best. Again, I repeat, these are the 24 that I own. The 24 that I own. One more time. The 24 that I own. Some of you are laughing right now because you know exactly why I'm doing it. And it's still going to happen. It's still going to happen. It's like clockwork. It happens every time. But you may not agree with some of my rankings. Again, it's just my personal opinion, but to each their own. And there's a few different lines here. You have regular Armani named stuff, Giorgio Armani named stuff, Emporio Armani. No, I don't have any of the private line stuff. This is mainly their men's designer line type fragrances among the Acqua di Gio, Stronger With You, Armani Code, and like I said, just Armani ranges. Some really good stuff here for sure. I'll try to have links below for everything if you're interested, but let's get into these 24. Stay tuned. Now we're starting things off with upsetting everyone because a lot of you love this fragrance. And when I first got it, I was like, oh, okay, it's pretty good. But it didn't take long with wearing it where it's like, man, this is super cloying. I actually don't like it. And vanilla tonka bean's a combination theme throughout this line. I'm just overdone here, I think. Armani Code Absolu. Some of you just freaked out, and it's okay. It's just my opinion. You'll be okay after this video, I promise. It's not going to affect you. It shouldn't anyways. Don't let it affect you. I say that because people love this fragrance. And, you know, I never loved it. I liked it at first, but I just find it a little too cloying. It's almost like suffocating and obnoxious when I wear it. I haven't sprayed it in a long time because of it. I kind of got away from it. Like I said, when I first got it, I appreciated it. I even featured it in the best vanilla fragrance video years ago. But after spending more time with it, it just kind of became more and more not for me, if you will. Again, I don't think it's a terrible fragrance or anything, and I understand why people love it. I like every Armani Code that I have better than this. And number 24. Code Absolu. The freshest of the Stronger With Yous. This is Stronger With You only. And this is a good fragrance. All of these are at least good. There's no bad fragrance here. Even Code Absolu that we talked about previously. I don't think it's a bad fragrance. It's just not my least favorite is what it comes down to. Whereas I enjoy this one. It's a little gingery, resinous, creamy kind of smell. Citrus. Has that roasted chestnut smell to it as well. And it's a pretty good performer. It's just, you know, not as captivating as the rest of the line, but it is a solid fragrance. I like every single Strong With You. There's not a bad one in the bunch. This just happens to be my least favorite. Strong With You only. Very clean, very professional. It goes in the name. It's Armani Code A-List. A little bit of citrus, fresh aromatic, clean cut type of stuff. Great everyday wear. Now, A-List makes you think black tie event. I think this is way too safe for a black tie event personally. I think when you're going in situations like that you need something a bit more bold and daring, whereas here I think it's just a clean everyday wear. Actually a very basic and simplified take on the DNA. It's not a bad fragrance, but it's not a great version of Code either. Picked this one up, I want to say, at a Nordstrom rack, or maybe it was a TJ Maxx when I still lived in Texas, back when, because this was a limited edition flanker. And again, it's solid. It's just not special. Code A-List. Now here we have the one that started it all for this particular line. I was so content with this for such a long time, I didn't buy any of the flankers. Strong With You. Eau de Toilette, the original, the base DNA. Man, if you like this, you'll pretty much like the line. Because you smell this in all of them. They flanker properly. I gotta say, it always comes back to this core DNA. Cinnamon spice, nice and sweet, dry roasted chestnut. Nice and ambery. Beautiful fragrance. Great performer too. Even this EDT is every bit of a 9 or 10 hour fragrance on my skin. All of them perform really well. The fresher ones perform really well. You can't go wrong here. Even though I do like literally all of the flankers except for Only better than this one, I still encourage you to start here. Try this one first, because if you like this one, then you know the line's worth exploring. And that's Strong With You, Eau de Toilette. And with talking about Strong With You Eau de Toilette, let's talk about the fresher version of it called Strong With You Freeze. Wildly underrated. I believe it's discontinued at this point. I don't know how easy it is to find. It was a few months ago, still pretty easy to get. I don't know if it is still. Where Strong With You EDT is warm and spicy, this is fresh and spicy, but not so far off. It does smell like a... Freeze is an interesting name. I love the bottle, the frosted bottle, but it's not a cooling, that kind of fresh fragrance. It's just fresher than the Eau de Toilette. I think it is superior. I would take this, obviously, over regular Strong With You EDT. I think it's wildly underrated. I think for the daytime, this is probably the best fragrance they've ever put out in the line. That's the most appropriate to wear during the day, and it's, you know, still 8+ hour fragrance and longevity. Strong With You Freeze. The blue code. We're talking about code Colonia. So a dominant citrus and orange. You still get that powdered tonka bean absolute. It's just so much fresher. This is a great, well-rounded, everyday fragrance. Another one that I get 8+ hours. It's not too sweet and powdery to get away with in the summer. I have worn this one in the summertime. It smells so good. And they've been popping up lately. Testers have been popping up for a decent price. Once again, this is a tester I got a long time ago. It's a bergamot, orange, lavender, tonka bean, a little bit of woods. Again, it's the blue code, not just a clever color for the bottle. It's the versatile one that still stays true to the DNA. I got to say, Armani's really good with staying true to the DNA when it comes to their flankers. It's Armani Code Colonia. Next, we have from Armani, Eau de Nuit. Iris fragrance, coriander spice, nice and woodsy. Beautiful fragrance, it really is, but it comes across as very dressy to me, very evening, very semi-formal, and I don't have a ton of opportunities to wear this, and I have others in the same vein that I'll choose to wear over this. So it really hardly ever gets worn. It's been a long time since I've worn this fragrance, but it's still a really good iris offering from the brand. That might be worth exploring for you guys. I don't know what pricing and availability is these days. I've had it for several years at this point, but it's a nice woodsy, spicy iris fragrance that, like I said, has more of an upscale appeal to it that I just feel like it needs the right setting. I don't think it's that casual of a fragrance, so naturally, since most of my days are pretty casual, I don't hardly ever rock it. Armani Eau de Nuit. Now, I just wore this a couple of days ago. You can never go wrong with it. Timeless, timeless fragrance. Some people are going to be upset that it's ranked so low, but hey, that's just where I put it, because I do like all the flankers more. I state it all the time. Acqua di Gio from Giorgio Armani. The 90s classic, 1996, man. Citrus, aquatic, fresh, synthetic, green, musky. Just works. My wife loves when I wear this fragrance. She always makes sure to let me know that she knows what I'm wearing and she likes what I'm wearing. This is good stuff. And I've always gotten decent performance out of it. I hear there's a new version that's truer to the original and all that good stuff. But I don't need to just get multiple bottles of the same thing I already have unless I need to get another bottle of it. So down the road, maybe one day when I go through this, sure, I'll get the newer version. But for now, I'm super happy with this. This bottle is so iconic too. Man, just makes me think of my childhood looking at this one, because I'm a 90s kid. And this bottle, this was the 90s. Giorgio Armani, Acqua di Gio. One of the most interesting, unfairly underappreciated flankers they put out. Probably the most underappreciated. Flanker to flanker. Acqua di Gio Absolu Instinct. So this has an interesting dark ebony wood seaweed combination where it's very saltwater marine, but has this very dark woody element to it that I think gives it charm. I always have. Man, this smells good. Doesn't it? Never got love. It was a limited run flanker. When they do these flankers to the flanker, which there's a few of them that's like that, they're normally just a limited time summer run, and that's what this was. I'm super thankful to have this bottle. I don't wear it much, but I do like the way it smells. I always have. Great performer. Again, ebony wood and seaweed are the dominant accords here, and not everybody was a fan, but I definitely am. Acqua di Gio Absolute Instinct. Now, I put both of these together because there's really not much of a difference. We've got Acqua di Gio Profondo. This is the original. Then we've got the new 2024 Eau de Parfum. Not much different. This is slightly fresher. And I think with time, it'll balance out the smelling pretty much just like this, because that is the difference that I've found. Is this is just a little bit fresher. This is Profondo Eau de Parfum, the 2024 reintroduction of the old Profondo, which is still an Eau de Parfum. It always was, but basically got two bottles. I've sprayed from both. I've worn both just to see the difference. And like I said, slightly fresher. They're both still super synthetic, aquatic, beastly performers, compliment pullers, summertime in a bottle, super blues, if you will. Good stuff. Acqua di Gio Profondo. Back to the Strong With You line. This is some people's favorite, and that can be said for all of the rest of them at this point, really, is Stronger With You Oud. So with Stronger With You Oud, it's a dry, woody, oriental, leathery type of fragrance, very spicy, while still maintaining that sweetness. It does have that roasted chestnut dry down here that's just gorgeous from this DNA. Man, this is such a good fragrance. It's not overdone with sweetness, but there's a distinctive vanilla here instead of the toffee that you'll find in Intensely, which we will get to at some point. Obviously, it's ranked higher than this. Great performer. You really can't go wrong with any of the bottles in this line. Again, if you like one, there's a really good chance you'll like them all. That's been my experience. I really enjoy all of them. I have all of them that are not just limited edition bottles of the original. It's good stuff. Strong With You Oud. One of the greatest compliment getters I've ever seen. I actually have a big 200 milliliter bottle backup that someone sent me that maybe one day I'll get to, and you know, because it is that jam. It is so good. It's discontinued, sadly. Acqua di Gio Absolu, the flanker that got its own flanker in Absolute Instinct. This, man, this is strong too. God, this is such a great performer. So it kind of smells like if you took Profumo, okay, the best one, ranked way higher than this, just throwing that out there. I won't tell you where, but just know it's really high. If you were to take the labdanum patchouli of that, now remove the incense and add some fruity notes, you get this. This is kind of Invictus Aqua meets Acqua di Gio Profumo in many ways, because it has that fruity, fresh, aquatic smell without the bubblegum smell. It is so good. It's on the synthetic side, doesn't have the most natural of smells. So good. The marine notes give it that slightly salty, aquatic feel. Man, this is such a great fragrance. This is 8+ hours easy in longevity, and it's loud. Loud for 2 hours or so, and the sillage is pretty immense. This follows you around. I've gotten many compliments, and I know a lot of you watching have gotten many compliments as well. This is so good. Acqua di Gio Absolu. Toffee, anyone? A lot of people's favorite. Strong With You Intensely. Very sweet. The sweetest of the bunch. Super strong, too. So the big sweet difference here is I keep saying toffee. It's got a strong toffee note to go with the vanilla. You get the cinnamon spice. The roasted chestnut that I don't remember them listing in the note breakdown, but it's definitely distinctively there. Cinnamon spice, a little hint of woods. Of course, it's warm and ambery. And it's, like I said, crazy strong. This is a beautiful fragrance. Cool to cold weather. You can wear it during the day. It doesn't have to exclusively be in the evenings. It's really good. My wife actually likes to wear this one too. She's worn it 3 times herself, because it's not super masculine. It's not super feminine either. It's perfectly unisex with, I think, for a sweet fragrance, a little bit of a masculine lean. But yeah, if you haven't tried it yet, you really should. Hype monster and a half, and I think it deserves it. Strong With You Intensely. Such an underappreciated flanker in this line. Strong With You Amber. I'm a fan. So the opening here, fiery hot spice. And then I get kind of this amberwood, jasmine floral, Mancera instant crush type of profile mixed with the Stronger With You DNA and the dry down, obviously amber and vanilla. Man, I don't get the roasted chestnut in this one. I'm not saying it's not there. I just don't distinctively get it. I love that they made this one. I mean, I love all of them, but it's so underappreciated. I really, really enjoy this one because the opening is a bit different from the rest of them, but of course it always comes back to the Strong With You DNA for the most part. It's a good one. Really, really cozy in the wintertime, I have to say. I've worn this one to the movies. I've worn this to a few different things we've done in the evenings. It doesn't have to just be a dinner date. It can be a fun, casual night out as well. The Strong With You Amber. the majority of people pick this one as their favorite, and for the longest time, it was mine as well. But there's actually two that I like more now. But it's still the boozy one of the bunch. Strong with You, absolutely. What a good fragrance. Rum, cinnamon spice, vanillic sweetness. This one does have that roasted chestnut in the dry down. Such a good smell, such a good smell. A lot of cedar wood here. Nice and woodsy tone. Not super sharp and super cheap synthetic smelling cedar, but not super high quality cedar either. Great performance. Wonderful evening out fragrance. Again, you get the warmth from the booze, you get the sweetness, the spice, all the good stuff of the DNA. Plus, like I said, it's the boozy one. Strong with You, absolutely. The way I've always described this one is it's like a chocolate donut covered in powdered sugar with leather. Doesn't that sound weird? People say the root beer kind of thing. I get where they're coming from with that too. Armani Code Profumo. I'm a little 30 ml. This is so good. Monster performer too on me. Whew, there it is. It's so good. 2 to 3 sprays. I don't need to do more than that. I've never done more than 3. That's why this 30 ml will go so far for me. It smells so good. I get where people are coming from with the root beer tie-in, but man, there's some good stuff. It's sad that they discontinued this one. I hear that is it the new Eau de Parfum smells like this kind of. It's either the new EDT or the new Eau de Parfum. One of them smells closer to this. I don't know. Either way, I'm glad I have actual Armani Code Profumo, because for the longest time until the next fragrance came around, this was my favorite code Profumo. And my actual favorite code, the previous version of Armani Code Eau de Parfum, the original Armani Code Eau de Parfum, lavender aromatic, tonka bean absolu, light spice, a little bit of citrus and woods, just aromatic, sweet and powdery. This is one of my wife's favorite fragrances. And it's my favorite version of Code as well. Too much for the high heat, though, guys. It really is. Go with Code Colonia if you want to wear something in the heat. Man, this is a great daytime cold weather fragrance, but obviously a phenomenal date night scent as well. The lavender kind of gives it that little something to give it some aromatic freshness for the daytime. That's what I think anyways. This is so good. I can't say it enough. This is so good. Great performance. To me, the highlight of the line still smells like the original, just not as spicy. It doesn't have like the star anise and stuff like that, but beautiful fragrance. The original Code Eau de Parfum. Here we've got another one of those flanker to a flanker type of deals, and it's not the last time in this video we're going to see that, but man, I wish this wouldn't have been limited edition so more people could try it. It's Profondo Lights. So what's different about this from Profondo is it enhances the greens, the rosemary and stuff like that, the green spicy elements. It's not as sharp and synthetic. Still aquatic, still dries down to Profumo. You still get the orange and all that good stuff. It's so good. I still say it's superior to regular Profondo. It's unfortunate though. Nobody can try it. They discontinued it. If you can find it for a good price, I highly recommend. I definitely highly recommend. Great for the spring, great for the summer, great for a warm fall day as well. If you like aquatics and fresh greens, man, it's one of the best they've done. Profondo Lights in the Acqua di Gio line. This one grew on me so rapidly. Now, apparently they rebottled this again. Armani's been on a rebottling craze the last 2 years. It's weird. They didn't need to do that. I don't know why they did it, but Acqua di Gio Eau de Parfum. Beautiful orange, greens, aquatic, musk, woods. Super aquatic and green. Man, I love it. Great performer. Wife's a big fan of this one. This is one of her favorites. Man, this is such a good fragrance. I need to wear some Acqua di Gio fragrances. It's been a little while. Smelling these is like driving me crazy. Like I want to spray all of them on my neck right now. I'm not going to. I shouldn't. It's a bad idea, but Like smelling this in Profondo Lights, it's like, damn, I want to wear both of them today. And the next one I'm going to smell, I'm going to want to wear that one too, because we got another one next. But I just love the line. They don't put out bad fragrances. Alberto Marias does great flankers in this line. I got to say, get yourself some Acqua di Gio Eau de Parfum. Here's another one where they're going to say, oh, but the new versions, more incense. It smells closer to Profumo. I got the original 2023 release of Acqua di Gio Parfum, which I think is beautiful because I have Profumo. So I don't need the new one to smell like Profumo because I got this. So this lowers the incense, raises the green and the freshness. It's almost like Profondo Eau Fraiche in many ways because it still dries down with the incense and the patchouli and all that good stuff. It still performs great on me, 8+ hours easy. Man, this is good. Man, this is good, and I love the gradients to the bottle. That dark gray to light gray to clear, it just looks good. I think this was one of the better designers released last year. That's just me. Not everybody will agree with me, but hey, it's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. I think it's a damn good fragrance. I wore it not that long ago. This is the last Acqua di Gio fragrance I wore that wasn't the original. So I wore the original literally last week. A few weeks prior, though, I wore this one. I was in the mood for it. I think it's really good. I think it kind of got unfairly crapped on because people wanted something identical to Profumo. And for somebody that's got Profumo, I don't want identical to Profumo. I like the change. I like the twist to it. I think it's damn good. It's Acqua di Gio Parfum. One of the best designer releases of this year, hands down. It is the spiciest in the line. Strong With You Tobacco. Nice earthy tobacco tone, but it's more oriental, woody, and spicy than it is tobacco heavy. It's clear earthiness from a tobacco accord. I don't know if it's a natural tobacco oil, but it's definitely an accord. So good. Kind of like Herod. We were talking about Parfums de Marly Herod in a live stream yesterday, and yeah, this kind of relates to it a little bit. I would say this is in the realm of Herod. Maybe not as sweet as Herod. Herod's got a more dominant vanilla in the dry down. And this is a spicier fragrance than Herod. Herod's more smoky. Like, I could go back and forth on the differences, but there's a lot of similarity here as well. Great performer, though. Again, one of my favorite designers released this year. Strong With You Tobacco. My personal favorite, Strong With You. Strong With You Leather. It's the original plus a leather accord. It's that simple. It's that straight up. I'm a fan. God, I love the way this smells. And it's not too rough and tumble and animalic. It's definitely one that I think adds a sensuality to the profile. It's not as juvenile and youthful because it's not as sweet because that leather accord just balances everything out to me. Great performer. Again, dries down to the original, but starts off with a good dose of this leather accord. Just a beautiful fragrance. Strong With You Leather. Controversial pick at number 2. I think it's one of the best designers released this year. It is my second favorite Armani fragrance that I own. It is my second favorite Acqua di Gio fragrance that I own. It is Profondo Parfum, another flanker to a flanker. I love it. So the way I classify it is it's an amber aquatic. It's warm and ambery. It removes the mineral notes and a lot of the green from original Profondo. It's not as sharp and synthetic. You still maintain that green mandarin. It's nice and aquatic, but again, it's warm and smooth and just polished. It's the refined take. I'm such a fan of this fragrance. It's not as loud, but it's as long-lasting, if not more long-lasting on my skin. I'm such a fan. And the magnetic cap's back. It's not that it matters, but I love magnetic caps. And I love this fragrance. I would encourage you to try this. If you've been a fan of any of the Acqua di Gios, I encourage you to try this. You still may like other ones better, who knows? But if you don't get it on skin, you won't know. I'm a fan. Acqua di Gio Profondo Parfum. And my favorite Giorgio Armani, Emporio Armani, whatever, Armani fragrance that I own, the greatest Acqua di Gio flanker of all time. I don't think they'll ever make one better. I just don't. Profumo. The GOAT. Now, if I had Profumo Special Blend, which fetches ridiculous money on eBay, I don't know. That might be number one because it's better ingredients is my understanding on why it's the special blend. I've looked. I've seen them 500, 800, 1,000. I'm not paying that. So I may never get it. Maybe one day the right situation will come up, but until further notice, Acqua di Gio Profumo, and the only thing like I think has a chance to topple it is its special blend version. But and even then, is it really going to be a big enough difference? I don't know. Smoky, slightly earthy, very aquatic, fresh, and green. It's not too much rosemary, but a little bit of green. You can wear this one with a suit if you really want to. This is the Acqua di Gio I would recommend if you want to wear it in the cold, because these darker elements. Phenomenal performer. This is a beast on me. This is 5 sprays, is super strong and long lasting on me. I mean super, super strong. High compliment factor. Man, this is such a good fragrance. I hold this in high regard. I have a high level of respect for this. I think this is some of Alberto Marias' best aquatic work ever, because he's like the king of making aquatics, and I think this is the best one he's ever done that I've tried. So my number one was an easy choice. It was literally the first fragrance I grabbed, and I put it in the number 1 slot because it was unquestioned. Acqua di Gio Profumo. Well, that's how I rank the 24 Armani fragrances that I own. Thank you guys for watching the whole way through. For those of you that made it this far, make sure to like, comment, subscribe before you leave, and I'll catch you on the next one.